Why are you concerned about home prices? Where are they headed in the next 6 months? Welcome to the Orlando Real Estate Lifestyle, where we explore the intersection of Orlando real estate and your best life. I'm Phil Kruse, here to help you make the most out of your journey right here in the city beautiful. My friend recently expressed they're concerned about all of life's uncertainty. We all have this existential crisis from time to time, right? They said, there's just so much out of control in my world. How will I ever know how to time the market to buy a house at the right time? Look, you can't. No one ever knows how to time the market at the right time. We could always just do our best with the information that we have. But one thing that I can be nearly certain about, based on all the factors that I have at my disposal, is that home prices are heading up, especially over the next 6 months. We can expect a steady and probably fairly quick increase, especially compared to what we've been seeing recently, which is basically slight price increases in nice neighborhoods and relative stagnation or a plateau effect in most other neighborhoods. The main three reasons I'm going to outline or expound upon for you today is the amount of money flooding into Orlando. Okay, we have something called income migration. Of course, the election uncertainty is going to be ending here at the end of November. Hopefully, hopefully we'll have a resolution. And interest rates are trending down. This is going to create a perfect combination among some other things. So I'll flesh those topics out so you can understand exactly why you can expect home prices to go up over the next 6 months. But before we get started, I am obviously a real estate agent, and one of my main lead sources are listeners like you. So when it's your time to make a real estate decision, think of me, Phil Kruse. That's Kruse with a K, Kruse. I'm a listing specialist, but I also work every day with home buyers, especially buyers looking to buy in new construction communities. Regardless, a portion of all my real estate commissions goes to charity. I volunteer every Wednesday during the Orange County Public School year at the New Image Youth Center in downtown Orlando, where we serve and support underprivileged elementary school and high school aged kids. I mentor them, and I choose to donate a portion of my commissions from the sale of your home or the purchase to them. Now, if you have a charity that you are passionate about, I would ask that you please select that charity, and I will donate a portion of my commissions to the charity of your choosing. Don't forget about me on social media. I do a weekend post every Friday about my 5 favorite things going on in Orlando. You can find that on Instagram and Facebook. I'm everywhere at _Phil Kruse. That's Kruse with a K. You can just Google me, put Orlando, put real estate at the end. You're going to find my socials. You're going to find my website and my blog where I'm keeping you up to speed. And jump on my podcast, like and subscribe. I'm on YouTube. Maybe you're watching me on YouTube right now. Hit the bell, give me a 5-star review, copy the link, share it with a friend. It really helps me out. I drop new episodes every Monday. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help our community, and I'm here to help you mainly understand Orlando, what's fun, what's going on with business leaders. I have a lot of interviews in my podcast, and obviously what's going on in the real estate market. So you might say, Phil, how can you be so darn certain prices will go up? In your introduction, you said it's impossible to time the real estate market. Well, it just depends on what your goals are. But let's start with the money that's flooding into our state and flooding into Orlando. There is more money in Florida and in Orlando than there has ever been in the history of our state and our city. Orlando has the highest wages compared to all other major cities in Florida. We have the highest median income. All right, so we use median instead of average. It's just a statistics thing. Our median income is over $77,000 per household. That median income per household is higher than Miami, believe it or not, higher than Jacksonville, higher than Tampa. Okay, we are the fastest growing city, and the most money is coming to our state. This is due in large part to the great economic and job situation we have in Orlando, but even more so is really the wealth migration. What you're seeing is people coming continuously from out of state and moving in to Florida. You see it, your neighbors probably, or maybe you listening to it. And the number one city, we have over 1,000 people per day coming into Florida. Let me say that first. That's consistent, probably more. The number one city where those people are coming to is not Miami. It's not Tampa. It's right here in Orlando. And they're bringing their money, wealth migration. The IRS states that there was a net increase in Central Florida of over $3.5 billion in income just between the years 2021 to 2022. Okay, that was kind of that post-COVID explosion where people migrated here even more, but it's still happening. We're not seeing that dramatic of an increase, but we're still seeing extremely dramatic increases. Why? We have so much land, we have so much space, we have so many lakes, and people can live in such a huge geographical area in Central Florida and enjoy the fact that we don't have any state income taxes, right? They can buy a brand new construction home. They can buy a flipped home. They can be in great school zones. Osceola County, which is down there in South Orlando, saw its median household income grow by almost 50%, literally 49.66% since 2009 until present. All right. It rose, the median income in Osceola County rose more than $25,000 from 51,000 to 77,000. This is the area of this county. Osceola County comprises Celebration near Disney and Disney, some of Disney property, Kissimmee, St. Cloud, Four Corners, Point Siena, just to name a few, and a lot of the land south of Lake Nona. That shouldn't be a surprise if you know those cities, because those cities a few years ago weren't as heavily populated as they are now. There's been so much new construction in those areas, so many people coming, and that's where a lot of the quote unquote affordable homes have been drawing a lot of these transplant folks and first time home buyers down south into Osceola County. And the information I'm providing you, other than the IRS, is coming from the latest American Community Survey done by our government's Census Bureau. So we have a lot of money coming in from out of state. The wealth migration is a real thing. The second main reason that I expect home prices to go up in a fairly dramatic fashion over the next 6 months is interest rates finally are expected to go down over a consistent period of time. Look, we had interest rates go crash down during COVID because our government had no idea what was going to happen with the economy. All right. Well, the economy had a little blip. Turns out it didn't affect our economy all that much, or at least relative to home prices. And what happened was people all wanted to buy houses. They had nothing else to do. And we had more, the average American had more savings in their bank account than at any other time since we've been tracking that metric. So people had more buying power. The interest rates were extremely low. They can afford better houses and lock in a good interest rate. So instead of the housing market taking a crash because of COVID, it exploded. Well, of course, the pendulum swung. Things got a little out of control with our economy and buying. Inflation soared. Government had to step in and raise interest rates, had to balance the market out. Well, they've done that, thank God. The soft landing apparently has happened, to the best of my knowledge, based on all the data I've read and been exposed to by financial planners in my sphere, is we had the soft landing. We haven't had to go and endure a major recession. Hopefully that remains the case. So, but since we got all that stuff out of control, the federal government is now lowering interest rates again. Now you're seeing mortgage interest rates coming down. If the data stays like it is and trending the way it is, the Fed Bank of the United States and Chairman Powell has said interest rates are going to continue to be lowered over the next few months and going into 2025. All right. So obviously, if interest rates go down, mortgage interest rates, the average home buyer has more buying power. If you had a 6% interest rate today, you can maybe only afford a $400,000 home. But if the interest rate you're going to get goes down to 4%, maybe you can afford a $500,000 home or a $475,000 home. All right. This is now you can be more aggressive with the homes that you want. This is going to lead to prices going up. Let's not forget that this is coupled, interest rates going down. This is coupled with the historic and dramatic lack of inventory or homes available to purchase in our area. There is simply not enough homes available to match buyer demand. So by simple economics, the most basic rule of economics, supply and demand, we have more demand than supply. Prices are going to go up. Well, Phil, if we have had that inventory issue for so long recently, why haven't prices been exploding? Because of the uncertainty and going on with in our economy generally, but speaking, and also people got used to those low interest rates. So they feel like, oh, the interest rates now that we've been experiencing are just way too high. I can't buy. I'm going to hold off. I'm going to hold off. Well, as the interest rates go down, that concern and uncertainty is going to whittle away. They're going to see their buying power increase and get closer to what it was during post-COVID interest rates. They're going to come off and say, I don't care if we have a low supply. I'm finally ready to buy my house. I've been waiting long enough. That's called pent-up buyer demand. The dam is going to burst and people are going to come out and they're going to want to upgrade. They're going to want to go ahead and they had their new baby, but they haven't bought a house yet. All right, maybe they've been holding off on dealing with the divorce situation to sell their house and buy a new one. All the same things, all the same reasons people buy and sell. Let's not forget, Orlando in Florida is amazing. Everybody wants to live here. Look, Orlando is the most visited city in the country. It's the most visited city in the world. Or, sorry, that's not true. It's the most visited city in the country when we include domestic travel. We have the biggest airport in the state of Florida. We're close to all East Coast and West Coast beaches. We have Disney. We have the best weather. We're not even on the coast, so we don't have to deal with major hurricane impacts. Everything. Oh, we don't have any state income taxes, as I mentioned earlier. Nothing like that is going to change. We're only going to grow and get better with high-speed rail now connecting to Miami. The sky's the limit. We have the exploding tech sector here in the state of Florida. We have the largest university, UCF, by attendance. Okay, depending on the year you're looking at the data, and that's an engineering and tech-focused school. We have the Space Coast, NASA, SpaceX, Blue Origin, Boeing. So many, Lockheed Martin. We just have government contractors and tech out the yin yang. Orlando is the bomb. It's going to continue to explode. Prices are going to head up. Are you sad that you missed out on the hot buying season of spring and summer? No, that you're just so jazzed up and ready to buy? Well, let me tell you that the hot buying season is a little bit of a myth. Okay. That statement is more applied to the United States as a whole. And why is that? Well, in the winter, it's cold in most places. In many places, there's snow on the ground, and people just don't want to go out and buy houses and deal with that lousy weather. Well, lucky for us, as I said before, our weather, we don't have to deal with that. We don't have a cold buying season. Yes, the statistics bear out that less people list their homes during the spring and summer, and therefore there's less transactions, but there's still a ton of transactions in the state of Florida and in Orlando during the fall and winter. It should not deter you from going out and finding the house that you want. The people that are selling now have to sell. Okay. They're getting divorced. They are downsizing because their kids are out of college. All right. Or they need to upgrade and move on because they got a better job or whatever. Or they need to skip town for a job or some other reason. They have an alien relative that they need to move in or move out. Okay. So people are still going to be selling, and you're going to be ready to buy. Capture that equity growth before prices continue to grow, to go high, to get higher. So, but this is kind of segueing me into the third reason, sort of, as to why the prices are going to go up over the next 6 months. There's less uncertainty moving forward. We feel pretty confident that the interest rates are going to continue to go down because all the economic data, and frankly, the Federal Bank of the United States is outright saying that they're going to lower interest rates. So this concern about continued interest rates going up or kind of an uncertainty where they're going to go, that's going away. We're dealing with a presidential election cycle that we have the joy of dealing with every 4 years. Well, as of this recording, there's only about a month and a half or so left in that cycle. So once somebody gets elected, whether you like it or not, that cycle is going to be over, and the uncertainty of what's going to happen is going to be gone. Yes, the stock market's going to have a quick fluctuation depending on who gets elected, either up or down. That's not going to have any major impact on the real estate market. That's going to level out. People are going to realize that your life hasn't ended, or that life hasn't, it's not a utopia based on whoever gets elected. And they're going to go back to normal living and treating each other with love and respect. I certainly hope. And that's going to lead to less uncertainty. People are going to be ready to buy. So, and to put a bow on all of that, hurricane season's over. All right. As of this recording, we're dealing with a hurricane hitting the panhandle, but hurricane season is ending. And then people that are moving to Florida and seeing this coverage and see the coastal cities getting impacted, they're going to hopefully be educated and understand if they talk to a professional or someone who lives in the state like I have my entire life, went through Hurricane Andrew in 92, lived through Hurricane Charlie in 2004 here in Orlando, that hurricanes just don't impact the center of the state in the same way that they impact the coast. So Orlando is the best city in the country, period. You can expect that our housing market is going to reflect that statement, especially over the next 6 months. If you're concerned, if you're complaining about home prices going up and you're going to sit around and wait or just do nothing about it because you're complaining about home prices going up, look, you're just going to sit there and you're not going to be able to buy. And in a year from now or 6 months from now, you're going to be kicking yourself because you're going to say, oh, that home that I wanted or that home that I saw on Zillow, It costs, $50,000 more in only a short period of time. Well, that could have been yours. That could have been your equity. Okay. That's money you can borrow against with a home equity line of credit. That's money that you can cash in when you sell your house in 2, 3, 5, 10, 7, 15 years, or that you can pass down to your family member as an inheritance. Take advantage of this stuff while you can. It's going to happen. All the data points to home prices going up, and the sheer fact that we live in Orlando is the reason. So if you need somebody to help you sell your house and cash in on the equity that you have, or if you need someone to help you buy a new home, obviously I'm your guy. Phil Kruse, that's Kruse with a K, Kruse. Throw me in Google, search Orlando, search real estate, put that at the end of my name. You're going to find me. My social media channels, I'm posting all the time about what's going on in Orlando, infrastructure improvements, what to do around town. It's a lot of good information, and also real estate tips, information about new home developments, tips on how to sell your home fast, and things that you can do to have a better home selling process that reduces your stress. That's all on there. You can get on my podcast to find more information about that. I'm all over podcasts. Wherever you get your podcasts, I'm there. The Orlando Real Estate Lifestyle, or just search Phil Kruse, Kruse with a K. Like and subscribe to my podcast. Turn your notifications on so you get a notification every Monday. Don't forget, a portion of all my commissions go to charity, right? At the New Image Youth Center or the charity of your choosing. And always know that your best life in Orlando is within reach. Keep embracing every moment. Thank you for listening. Cheers.